She asked me my name. She said, "What's your name?" I go, "David." She goes, "Well, this is David. What's your last name?" Chappelle. She looked up, and I looked when everyone was kind of looking. I could tell they had heard of me, but they didn't know that.
Oh, right. For those 10 years.
A lot of shit. I learned a lot. I mean, but it was a humble existence. I had young children, and I was raising my kid. This was after I quit the show, but not long after, like '05, '06. But they didn't know. She asked me my name. She said, "What's your name?" I go, "David." She goes, "Well, this is David on the list. What's your last name?" I go, "Chappelle." And she looks up, and I look around, and everyone's kind of looking. I could tell they had heard of me, but they didn't know that.
Oh, right.
It was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This was after I quit the show, but not long after, like '05, '06.
What did you do for those 10 years?
A lot of shit. I learned a lot. I mean, but it was a humble existence. I had young children, and I was raising my kids. I was living a suburban life, and then every once in a while I get this feeling like I'm the funniest guy. I gotta get out there, and I would like fly to Denver, do a week in Denver or something. And that's when you would read I was doing like these 6-hour shows. I performed like I was desperate for it. I loved it.
Yeah.
And at one point I had done one of these big comedy tours that Live Nation put together, that Oddball tour. And I did all right. I had a good run. I wiped out in Hartford, and that was all over the internet. That was the first time that thing had happened to me. But for the most part,
What it do, big homie?
Good, but it was a tough tour for me because it was a long show. I had to close it. My chops weren't as tight as they normally were. But I didn't suck by any means. But could have been better.
Humbling.
It was humbling, but it made me want to go back. And the shows were like, every show was like 20,000 seats. They were like all these.
What year was this around?
Shit, I can't remember. Obama was president, maybe. I don't know, 8, 9, 10.
But you were famous for just showing up places. You would just fly in.
That's the one. That's when I started. I used to, in the summer, I started riding motorcycles, which is like very uncharacteristic of me, but I loved it. I said, I'm gonna ride my bike across country, and I did. I cheated. I had a tour bus with me, trailer, so if it rained or something, or if I just wanted to bail, I could. But I rode cross country, and I'd never seen America like that. When you talk about how big it is and expansive, and man, I saw all the little pockets on a bike. You really feel the environment.
Oh, that Angry Orchard, that shit there, bro.
And
Yo, Dave Chappelle don't hardly do a lot of fucking talk shows no more, but he went on Joe Rogan again. I don't even think, like the last time he was on Joe Rogan, I don't think he was the actual guest. Darnell Rollins, aka Ashy Larry. Darnell was on the podcast, and him and Joe Rogan was chopping it up, and then all of a sudden, like, Dave Chappelle just busts up in that bitch. And it's like, oh shit, Dave, man, come sit down, yo. And Dave Chappelle sat down, and it was kind of weird almost because Darnell is fucking funny in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Darnell's a really good comedian. But you can see, like, when Chappelle came into the studio, like, Joe just wanted to talk to Dave. And now it's Dave and Joe Rogan talking, and Darnell is kind of, like, to the side a little bit. And he keeps trying to jump into their conversation and insert himself into the conversation. But, I don't know, it was like Dave and Joe were so happy to see each other. It's like, fuck. It just seemed like a little weird situation. But now it seems like on this episode it's just Dave up there himself. That part. Rule number 1 in 48 Laws of Power: never outshine the master. I'm trying to make some posts on Facebook. Yeah, I posted that fake album cover. Everybody started calling me, asking me if I was gonna do an album. Just hold my tongue, bro. Yep. Just be like, I'm good. I'll let you guys just finish talking like you know what the fuck you're talking about. But you don't know what you're talking about. Hmm. I want to let me share this post. I did too much crying, wasted too much time. I been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know why. Why she's gone away and I don't know where she can be. My baby. But I'm gonna find her. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, that'll be a hot ass sample, yo. If you use vocals or a piece of the beat, yo, either way, like it just sounds so good. Even now, that shit is still a good song. I been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know why. Why she's gone away and I don't know where she can be. Mace, Mason Diddy did it. Hmm. Bruh, I can't find this shit to save my fucking life, yo. Oh my god. I know I got this fucking picture in here. There it goes. You know what? Fuck that shit.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's one of your top. It is. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You want to know why you're all fucked up? Just look at the fucking bums you hang around with. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's one of your top. It is. Three pieces. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. You want to know why you're all fucked up? Just look at the fucking around with. Show me your friend.
Mm-hmm. So the realest shit I ever heard. You are a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. How come I don't remember this shit? Oh, this is what this video this is. I remember this shit.
You don't like the way it's hot and hazy, never shady, must be crazy. It's ridiculous how you put your lips on this. Don't kiss right there, girlfriend, I'm ticklish. And I be switching D's, little lips to a G, yeah, please. I'm the macaroni with the cheese,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the video being a whole fucking movie. Oh yeah, people would definitely make excuses. It's fucking Friday. I don't gotta rush out the studio this evening. I gotta go work in the morning. I can stay in this motherfucker all night if I feel like it. I say if I feel like it. I cooked a big ass pot of goddamn beef stew yesterday. I got leftovers. I'm having some more beef stew for dinner, so I ain't gotta cook dinner neither. Means I ain't got shit to do. I could cut the grass because we're going to get some rain tonight and tomorrow, but fuck it. I'll do it on Sunday if it's dry enough. And if not, then shit. I ain't doing shit, man. I ain't gonna lie. Fucking Friday. Drink, paint, blow, repeat. I ain't trying to cause no problems. I ain't fucking with nobody. You know what I'm saying? We minding our business in the studio. It's all we doing. Minding our own business. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers over there talking a whole bunch of bullshit, and you wrong, but I'm gonna mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'll just let both of y'all be wrong, because I ain't got shit to do with it. Y'all need to go read the book. You know what I'm saying? Shit, go read the book. Alright. I started sketching up a picture of my girlfriend. A picture of my girlfriend. I probably change the background on this thing some kind of way. Just took a little picture in the backyard just to take a picture of her. So I'll be painting this. Shit. Get finished with this sketch real quick. I need some sharp pencils.
That stop and play. One of my favorite birthdays was here in Austin. I'd never been to Austin. I'd been to Austin, but I've never seen Austin. Pulled up on 6th Street. It was my birthday. I was riding with the guy. He's like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And at that time, I wasn't drinking, smoking, or anything. I said, "I want to do stand up." And I found a bar. It was right around closing. And I saw the DJ packing up, and I said, "Can I use your microphone?" And he recognized me, so he's like, "Oh, yeah. And I went up there and I just started talking shit. And, but it was just like, teasing the bar staff as they're cleaning up, talking to patrons, get home fast, buddy, and all that shit.
Right. And
people laugh, and it was like I used to do street comedy in New York. It kind of reminded me of that, like building a crowd. And after a while, people stopped and listened. Now, I'm not a tech-savvy dude. Twitter had come out. And I guess people had started tweeting like, "Yo, this is crazy. Dave Chappelle just in here ranting." Man, it took like an hour. That place was packed. And I must have stayed on stage 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And they closed the door. They locked the door because it was after hours. And I was in there killing it. It was best birthday I ever had. One of the best birthdays I ever had. Sometime around when I turned 40, I just decided.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that shit, yo? Just like being so well known for what you do. Motherfucker could just walk into any bar in any city and be like, "Yo, let me get the mic." Yo, that motherfucker is the fucking GOAT, son. He said in an hour, it was like a sold out show. They had to lock the doors. It was after hours. Yeah. If you leave, you can't come back in. And if you outside, you not getting in. We're full to capacity. We closed an hour and a half ago. We've been closed for an hour and a half. This is something special that Dave has given us. You just had to be here. You missed it. Sorry. You're not coming in. If you leave, don't come back in. And he said he was on stage for about 3 fucking hours just freestyling. That shit crazy. Eddie Griffin is another GOAT. I ain't gonna lie, yo. That his stand-up Voodoo Child. Oh my god. Oh my god, yo. And he hit hard too. That motherfucker, he don't pull no punches. He don't pull no punches. He hit hard. He tell good stories. But then he got good punchlines too. That Voodoo Child stand up and his last stand up. I can't remember the name of that shit, but yeah, Eddie Griffin, he good on stage, yo. I think I like him better as a stand up comedian than an actor. I like Dave Chappelle better as a comedian than an actor. Eddie Griffin. That's the other one, Dysfunctional Family. Yeah. Dysfunctional Family, Voodoo Child. That's some other shit, yo. That old show, Malcolm and Eddie. And they use their real names, yo. Eddie Griffin and Malcolm Jamal Warner, yo. Malcolm and Eddie, nigga. Motherfucker Eddie Griffin slide up in they cheesing. Motherfucker be blinking all fast and shit. Yo, that shit used to be funny as shit, yo. You know what I started watching last night with Malcolm Jamal Warner in it, yo. Yo, for some reason, man, I started watching The People versus O.J. Simpson. I was like, oh shit, they got Cuba Gooding Jr. playing OJ, and then that motherfucker get locked up in real life. and then goddamn Malcolm Jamal Warner was his homie in there. They two things I learned so far. I think I watched like 2 episodes or 3 episodes of it. So John Travolta plays his lawyer, but so when that shit happened, I think they said it was 94. I was in middle school. I was in 7th grade. So I was like 11 or 12. But I remember, I mean, it was so hyped. It was the fucking news. That was the only thing anybody was talking about for fucking months, bro. Like, I remember that shit, yo. but and I thought I knew the story pretty well because it was so, I mean, I don't know, but I didn't know everything, I guess, because so far I learned that in that Bronco when that slow ass Bronco chase, for some reason I thought that was OJ driving the Bronco himself, trying to get away from the cops. But they said it was OJ was in the back seat of the Bronco with a gun to his head, and he made his homie drive the car and take him to his mom's house. AC, that's the character that Malcolm played. And then what else? I was like, what the fuck? Oh, his best friend was Kardashian, Robert Kardashian. I'm like, what? And it was the dude from Friends playing that character. But I was like, I ain't know OJ was like. No, I don't think he did it. I think OJ is completely innocent. One for the team. Is that bad though? Like, I don't know. Now, I haven't seen this part in the show, so I don't know if my memory is completely right or not. But I think he got off because one of the police officers or a detective or somebody planted evidence that the glove that his hand was too big for it. And it's like, oh, this is the glove that he used to conceal his fingerprints from the murder weapon or whatever. It has their blood on it. And he couldn't even fit the glove. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. So I remember that whole part. Or somebody, whoever planted some fucking evidence trying to seal the deal and get this motherfucker, behind the bars and shit. And it came out that, there was some kind of shady ass play with the law enforcement. If the glove don't fit, they all full of shit. I'm telling you. And so, goddamn, and that's why I say, like, with that shit, it's like, if he did it, and they said, oh, blood was in the Bronco, blood was on the outside of the Bronco, and then they already brought the character Kato in there. I remember that shit. Kato Kalin was some dude who just was fucking, like, squatting there, just a homie, some kind of motherfucker just lived there. He ain't really know what the fuck happened. He just heard like some banging and bumping and shit, but he ain't seen shit. And then like, I don't know. Did that motherfucker do it? I say the one thing, like years later, he wrote this book called I Didn't Do It, but if I did, yo, how you write a book about how you would have done the murder? I didn't do it, but if I did, no, I don't know, bro. Are you saying that you look back at what you did and you figured out ways you could have done it better? Or OJ's quality, yo. It was so weird, yo. Like I say, I'm just watching the show. I say that shit happened when I was a kid. I think I knew the story, but then now as I'm watching it, like I'm learning shit that I didn't know. So I did. You just fucking ha 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 at me just now. Oh, there's another link. I don't know why these links don't be coming straight through, yo. I call my internet provider, be like, yo, my shit be moving slow. Like I can't even. That shit won't even fucking download whatever it is. Lou, what it do? Lou, what it do? Oh, there it goes right there. TMZ Sports. O.J. Simpson danced with two blonde women at Vegas bar. That's a Key and Peele skit or something? Or is that really OJ? Yo, ain't he an old ass man? Like OJ, like 70 years old. You in my Instagram? Yes, I am on your Instagram. I'm pretty sure I followed your page. I don't know now. I might not follow your page. I don't follow a lot of people. I be cutting people off. I'm trying to find more people to take off all my social media, yo. I'm trying to get my my Instagram down to a very select 300 people, if possible. Maybe even less. I follow less than 400 people. Man, I don't see no new drawing, bro. You changed it, you got a new Instagram or something? Because if you have, I'm about to unfollow this, John, because these are all your old drawings. You ain't post nothing new on here. No, this not yours? Oh well. Well, send me your drawing in Messenger or in Instagram, yo. I'm about to unfollow this page anyway. You ain't posting shit on that page, screw that. The OJ murder. Who kidnapped? He kidnapped somebody? What I was saying is I just started watching the little mini series they did. The People versus OJ Simpson. We was bored, you know. After dinner, I played a video game for a little while, and my girl was like, "Turn the fucking game on. Let's find something to watch." So all right, let's find something to watch. So we just going through fucking Netflix, and it was like OJ Simpson versus the People. Let's or the People versus OJ. I was like, "Fuck it, let's watch that shit." So, but yeah, that shit crazy. It's not a bad as a form of entertainment, like a show. It's not a bad show because they got really good actors in it. You know what I'm saying? They got some really good actors. It's fucking John Travolta's in that shit, yo. And who I say? Malcolm Jamal Warner and Cuba Gooding Jr. and the guy who plays the lawyer, yo. I forgot that nigga name. But yo, it's a lot of good actors in that fucking show. So it's entertaining to watch, but then at the same time, since it's based on like some actual shit, that's even more entertaining too. Cause you know, imagine if that bitch kicked you in your nuts. Like you would probably really cough your nuts up, yo. But I've really been looking at like these female bodybuilders a lot. I'm trying to get some exercise routine together for my girl. So I've been watching these bodybuilders, but like some of these bitches be big as shit, yo. Well, no, he didn't go to jail for the murder. He went to jail for I thought he went to jail for trying to steal his memorabilia back or some shit. Somebody sold some of his NFL memorabilia that he felt like should have been his. And he went and tried to take that shit back or something. Like, what the fuck? For kidnapping? He kidnapped somebody doing that shit? All right, see, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, bro. Lou say he done switched up the page. Say I got a different Instagram now. It's all good. My man say he an artist. What the Puff? What the hell? You are not healthy, my brother. This man say I don't eat breakfast. All I eat is lunch and dinner, and then I drink beer in between. My guy, you might not want to come up here, man. Cause if you come up here, bro, we going hiking, nigga. Mountain hiking. This man said I don't even eat breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I got myself on a strict regimen. I don't eat after 8. I don't eat before lunchtime. That's how I stay so slim and slim. You know what I'm saying? They say fasting help though, man. Fasting does something to help you stay younger, yo. It is what it is. Hey, you look better than fucking 90% of motherfuckers your age, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Everybody don't have the same lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell people who real bad on their fucking body. Motherfuckers be 30 looking like they 50. Like, damn, nigga, I'm older than you. How you look older than me? I never get that. Like, some people younger than me look older than I am. Like, bro, you had a rough life. Are you just beat your body the fuck up, nigga? Like, you don't get no sleep? You don't eat vegetables? No? You don't exfoliate your skin? No, you look bad. Yeah, you look real bad. You know? Motherfucker, you having circles under their eyes and missing teeth from poor hygiene and all kind of shit, man. God damn. You gotta take care of yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But they do say intermediate fasting, it helps with free radicals or some kind of genetic DNA shit. Oh yeah. Damn, my Angry Orchards be so tasty.
I'm gonna have fun. You know, like right now, you know, this is a weird thing to talk about. After DMX passed and Black Rob, you know, now far more often people from my peer group pass away. And it just makes me feel like, it's not a midlife crisis, it's almost the opposite of that. It's like, look, I know I don't get to stay here forever. My time is limited and precious, and I don't take any of these things for granted. I don't take this money for granted, this platform. And I'm not talking about the fame platform, I'm talking about comedy. This genre, like, this genre, it's been so good for me.
Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free.
Motherfuckers, I just want to have more fun in life, bro. You don't get to be here forever, nigga. You better live it up right now. Like, he like, damn, yo. And that's what I'm thinking, too. Like, a lot of people from my peer group died. Like, one of my homies passed away a couple years ago from a heart attack. That's why I'm trying to slow down on smoking so much and shit. Yo, I want to be here for a long time, man, and just live it up while I can. You know, the party will never stop. This is the thing. And this is the saddest. This is why we all feel bad about dying. Is because we know the party don't stop, nigga. The party will never stop. But eventually you gonna get asked to leave. You be like, yeah, but the party's still going. Yeah. We know the party's still going on, but you got to go now. No more fun for you. This is the end. How did you like it? Did you sit in the corner twiddling your thumbs, or did you socialize and have a bunch of fun the whole time while you was here? Hmm? I be trying to live it up. Yeah, yeah. Humans are not meant to eat everything. I do agree with that argument. I like eating meat. I ain't gonna lie. I eat meat every day. But the arguments for humans not needing meat are very strong. It's just like it really does make sense because we get most of our protein from animal meat. It's animal protein, but most of the animals that we eat, they don't eat meat. Like the meat that we eat are all herbivores. And then this one, I think he's a doctor, like a physician or some kind of health expert or something, but he is like real carnivores are carnivorous and they eat meat and they eat blood and fur and guts and everything else. And that's a carnivore who eats meat. They don't have to cook it. They're able to catch whatever prey they're gonna eat and just eat that shit. But humans, we don't have natural abilities to take down a substantial sized animal, even a small animal. Like the guy said, like if you're a real carnivore, I want you to go out there and catch a fucking squirrel with your bare hands in your own speed with no tools or nothing. Because that's how real carnivores catch their prey. Jaguars and lions and alligators, these motherfuckers are built to fucking catch other animals and eat them shits. And we're not built to catch an animal. they're they're way faster than we are for the most part. Most little animals, like even rabbits, it's hard to catch them shits, man. You know what I'm saying? So without some type of tools or traps or something, and then you don't just catch a rabbit or a squirrel or a deer. I like to see a man just chase a deer down, running on his bare feet, just chase a deer, grab this motherfucking break his neck or something, and just start gnawing at it like through the fur and everything. Like we don't do that. We gotta shoot that bitch, pow, and drag him somewhere and skin this motherfucker, and then get the parts of the meat that we do want. Then you gotta start a fire, and cook this motherfucker until it's medium rare, or meat at least medium, and then eat that shit with some bread and some mayonnaise. That's crazy. And I can almost disagree with the I think in the last World Olympics there was this black dude. He was a bodybuilder. He broke some kind of record for his weight class. All vegan. Motherfucker eat nothing but plants. Motherfucker eat no meat. That bitch do big as shit, yo. You can Google that shit. Vegan Olympic weightlifter or some shit, yo. Look how big this motherfucker is. I think he got a squat record or some shit. I don't know. But motherfucker don't eat no meat. He don't eat no meat. And there's tons of vegan athletes out there who faster and stronger and more healthier than the average person, and they don't eat meat. And that's the health expert was saying, that's why real carnivores don't die from congenital heart failure or clogged arteries or heart attacks, like because their arteries don't get clogged up with fat and plaque, which is a byproduct of fucking meat proteins from the cholesterol and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Alligators don't get clogged. They just, their bodies built different. But us, we get heart disease and all kind of shit from eating too much meat. I still love meat though. I already know. You know what I'm saying? If I was vegan, or even if I was, first it's like vegetarian, then it's vegan, then it's raw vegan. When you really go out there and like all I eat is plants and don't even cook these motherfuckers. So you just eating like kale and motherfucking coleslaw and goddamn, I don't know, just carrots and shit. Like, but I can go days without eating meat with no problem. I need carbs though. I definitely have like some pastas and salads and like bean soups and stuff like that. I can have that shit for days, but as soon as I smell a burger or a steak or something, like, yo, where's the A1? You know? Had me a surf and turf the other day. A nice New York strip and a lobster tail. You know what I'm saying? Some cow butt and a roach from the ocean. Love it. At least I need fish at least. Gotta get that shit out the ocean, man. You know what I'm saying? There's something different about that sea meat too, yo. And that's why some vegetarians, they still eat fish. It's something different about fish, yo. Let me see. Last week, well, it's Friday. I don't know, within the last 7 days, I've had, well, seafood twice. I had some lobster the other day, and then I fried some fish. And yeah, I only ate fish. Well, I ate seafood twice in the past week. But normally I have some seafood like at least once a week too, yo. I love fish. Some cod or some whiting. Uh I'm from South Carolina, man. Motherfucker, we got this shit called fish and grits or shrimp and grits. You just get some fucking some salmon. Get that shit in the can, man. I don't mind getting fresh salmon. That shit be expensive sometimes. So I just get a can of like that Alaskan pink salmon. Man, put that shit in the pot. Some onions, some peppers, salt, pepper, and make your a pot of grits. And spoon some of that motherfucking salmon on top of your grits. I eat that shit like a couple times, at least 2-3 times a month, yo. I gotta have me some salmon and grits, so you can put that shit over some rice, salmon and rice, bruh. My, my favorite seafood though, I ain't gonna lie, is raw oysters. Man, I love them shits, yo. There only one restaurant in like a 50-mile fucking radius that sell them shits, yo. So, and them shits be expensive as fuck. It'd be like $25 for a dozen of them shits. Like, man, y'all be price gouging because y'all know ain't nobody else around here got these motherfuckers, yo. But I got down, I had them shits last month. Oh no, I had seafood more than, yo, in the past week because I had some crab legs too. Yo, one night I had steak and lobster, and then we had like some Chinese food, and then I had crab legs and lobster, And then I fried some fish. And then we tried this one Spanish restaurant. Yo, my girl like her food. I ain't really like my shit, yo. I just, when I try new places, I just go for basic shit that you can't really fuck up. And so I just got a beef burrito. Man, that shit ain't even taste good, yo. It's like, how y'all burritos not even good? And I don't even want to try your empanadas or your fajitas or none of your other shit if you can't even do a motherfucking burrito right. But she said she like her shit. And then last night I made beef stew. So, yo, people don't know that. Boozy, what up, bro? Yo, nobody don't like no raw oysters, man. And get the goddamn the cocktail sauce, and then they give you like this red wine vinaigrette, and then the lemon wedges. Then I get some Tabasco, and you can just be mixing that shit around. Sometimes I just dip in the cocktail sauce. Sometimes cocktail sauce, hot sauce. Sometimes it be vinaigrette, lemon juice. Man, that shit be going so damn fast, man. Like, you only get 12, it's be like. So if I get 24 of these motherfuckers, y'all gonna charge me about $55 for this shit, man. I can't. I love oysters, but not that much. That's how you do the oysters, maybe. Dip it around, yo. Yo, and then when I go out, I say nobody don't like my shit, so I get all my oysters to myself, yo. I gotta get they sell them by the half dozen, but I just can't eat 6 of them bitches. I need to get the 12 every time, yo. Let me get the whole dozen oysters, yo. I say fucking hot sauce, lemon juice, cocktail sauce, vinaigrette. Damn, this shit be good. Now, you know what? Me and my girl going out on Sunday. Well, we might go out tonight, but I'm definitely going out on Sunday. And then where I'm going on Sunday, the restaurant is like right around the corner from that bitch. So, is these motherfuckers open on Sunday? They gotta be. Yeah, they are, cause they open on Sundays. Think I go get me some oysters on Sunday. Man. Treat myself to some oysters. Nature's Viagra. Treat myself to some oysters. I make it squirt like Niagara. Yo, I'm gonna have to go to Spotify because since Joe Rogan has this partnership with Spotify, he does not put full episodes of his podcast on YouTube anymore. It's all clips. And at the end of the clip, he has this long advertisement. Go to Spotify to watch this whole episode of the JRE experience. Go to Spotify now, free, on Spotify. Watch this and more episodes on Spotify. It's like, all right, Joe Rogan. It's like, damn, bro. He trying to pull motherfuckers from YouTube, though. Like, fuck it. Like, fuck YouTube. Search. There it goes. The Joe Rogan experience. It's like one of the only other things I watch on here. And this is where, so if you want to watch the whole episode of a Joe Rogan show, you gotta go to Spotify. Dave Chappelle is a comedian, actor, writer, and producer. He is the recipient of multiple honors, among them the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor and several Grammy Awards. This is episode 1647. Yo, this nigga did an ass of shit, yo.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out. The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Joe, how are you? What's going on with your mask, man?
Nah, I just fucking with you. I just want to see how you react. All this Rona talk.
All this Rona talk.
Sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headphones or no headphones?
Oh,
What do you wanna
I'll do the phones.
Okay, there you go. I just don't want to be the only one.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I turn them up right here.
Yeah.
Check. Here we go. What's up,
All right.
fingers? He's over there typing every few minutes. He goes like this. Let's go. Let's do this shit.
You call Jamie Fingers.
So for
All right, so I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna do a little bit more sketching on this canvas, but I'm gonna run downstairs. I'm gonna take a piss and grab a snack, some chips or some crackers or something, and I'll be right back.
Oh man, congratulations. You're the first guy to beat the system. You're the first guy to get fucked over by the system, go public with it, and then get your money. I've never heard it happen before. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Bro, I still can't wrap my mind around it. But I do have to shout out Chris McCarthy over at CBS Viacom. That guy, you know, when we were working this out, his approach was someone who was actually trying to resolve something.
Came through.
It was amazing, man.
It's amazing. It's a happy ending. Because usually those artist gripes, they never get resolved. Not to where the artist feels comfortable or happy with it.
Right.
They always feel bitter and angry. They got fucked over, and someone else is a producer, and they're making millions of dollars off of your work, and they continue to sell it, and make money off of it, and
Well, I could say with a high degree of honesty, not to say I was never angry about it, but I don't think I was ever like bitter. By this point in my life, I wasn't bitter.
You would joke about it. You were angry about it, but not to the point where it fucked with your head, but you would joke about it.
Well, I mean, you know, the bottom line is no matter what happens to you, you gotta keep going.
You gotta keep going.
And bitterness is quite cumbersome.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
Right. So, you know, jokes is a way of shaking that off or processing something with the alchemy of levity.
Yeah, holding grudges, bitterness, shit's very bad for you. It doesn't ever help.
No, and now we're getting on in age. You know what I mean? When we were younger, it's fine to hold a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't realize that, you know.
Didn't realize it was fucking with you. What is that expression? It's about jealousy. The jealousy is the only poison that affects the container that's holding it.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But bitterness, the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. It's just not good for you. You gotta be able to let shit go.
Yeah. I mean,
But in your case, you made a ploy. Like
I
you
decided
you said what happened, how you felt about it, and they were like, he's right.
I think, yeah.
Let's give him the money.
It wasn't a court of law. I don't believe I would have got anything.
It's kind of
In
amazing.
a court of law. I think in a court of public opinion, it was a good time for me to
Yeah.
say my piece. And through the years, it wasn't something that I would harp on. I mean, I did interviews and stuff. People would always ask me about it, but it was something I was actually reluctant to talk about. It was a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's hard for other people to relate to this idea that you want more money. You know, you're talking about regular people, and you're saying this thing, even though it is yours,
Money is
it's hard for people.
Money is if you look at life, anything in life, through the framework of money, you'll miss most of the picture.
Yeah.
And you know, in business, especially this stage in our careers, you realize through the years, people play incentives. You know what I mean? That they're incentivized a certain way, that's the way they're going to behave. So what they want is never really surprising. How they get there is where all the surprises are. So I feel like I can forgive somebody for playing an incentive. It's disappointing. But what was so remarkable when I walked away from the show, right, is that it was against incentive. So people couldn't understand it at the time. It was so much money. How could you do that? And blah, blah, blah. But you know, if I had taken that money and finished the show, I would have got the money, but I might never have been the same.
I think it was one of the most gangster moves in the history of entertainment.
But
And it made you a legend. And the fact that you then started doing shows like I heard like Dave's doing a show in the park in Seattle. He got like a box. He pulls out a speaker and just starts doing stand up.
That was in Portland, yeah. Because in that sense it was freeing.
Yeah.
Something about, you know, I was geared a certain way growing up because I wanted to make it in show business. And boy, that shit fell all the way apart. And as far as I knew, my career was over. So where do you go from there?
Yeah, but your career wasn't over. You just decided
Yeah.
you were gonna just sort of lay back for a while.
In hindsight, yeah. But when it was happening,
You really felt like it was over.
I'd never seen these things before. I didn't see anyone else do this and get back up. I didn't see, and the drum beat is he's crazy, he smokes crack, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
It was a wild experience. The way people close to you react, like I failed or I ruined my life,
Mm.
you know, and then you know when you're cold, that phone don't ring that often.
Right.
And then I had over a decade of sitting in that choice, but I didn't languish in just that experience. I started doing stand-up for much better reasons than making it. I still enjoyed it. I started seeing the places where I was performing. Normally when you're like successful in comedy, you know, you get off the plane or the bus, you do the hit, you go back to the hotel, you get back on the bus, you don't really see anything. You don't really,
Yeah.
like even now, like this last run we did here in Austin, we was here for weeks. And then I got to see Austin. I got to find restaurants I like. I met people that I probably called because I'm in town, stuff like that. And it was like that all over the world, not just the country. I started going around just seeing the world. I got overwhelmed with this idea that none of my information was firsthand. I just read it in books or I heard it from friends, and I was eager to just see something for myself. And I kind of entrenched this philosophy that my memories are some of the most valuable things that I have.
Mm.
These firsthand experiences.
Yeah.
Can't take it away from if I reminisce on a nice day, then you know it feeds you. Remembering something is neurologically almost identical, I've read, to experiencing it.
Yeah, I think that there's a real value in having experiences where you do it on purpose. Like you go someplace to have experiences and think about having those experiences. Because most of the time, you know, like like you were saying, if we do shows, you just kind of show up, you do the show, and then you go home. But if you like set aside some days to do things, like that's very valuable for your perspective, which is ultimately valuable for your act. It's valuable for everything because you're choosing to take in more information and data specifically to enhance your perspective on life.
Right, you learn things.
Yeah.
You gain perspective, which is very valuable for a comedian and a person. And it's humbling and it's empowering at the same time.
Yeah, because we know comics, like, that was a big theme during, like, the 90s, right? Where comics would all tell the same stories about being on the road. All the jokes were about airplane travel.
Airline jokes.
Hotel food and that kind of shit. And the maid, do not disturb, knocking on your door. Because that's what they related to, right?
They were the road warriors.
Yeah, that was their life's perspective. And it kind of shows that interesting experiences are very valuable. But you don't think of them as valuable, you think of them as recreational, but they really are valuable.
Right. And I call, any information is valuable. I call it expensive knowledge, right? It's like your buddy that's a war veteran or something. You don't want to know the shit he knows if you knew what he had to do to know these things. That's what they call expensive knowledge. I would not recommend quitting your show the way I did.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it.
Yeah. But the way you did it was so cool. Because, you kind of drifted off.
I promise I wasn't trying to be cool. It was a series of troubleshooting. It's just like, fuck it, man. Like, what are you gonna do? You gotta, whatever you go through, you gotta live. You gotta make a way and find your happiness. And I'm lucky. I'm in show business, which is a pretty it's a multi-dimensional career path. This thing could go a lot of ways.
Yeah. Especially today.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah, and another time, would I have ever gotten that money? I don't think so.
No, because there would have been no social media, no pressure.
Right. No dropping specials on the gram, no comment section, no moveon.org, no.
And if you had gone to, say, like the Tonight Show and made a pitch like that, they probably wouldn't have even aired it.
No, of course not. I had a gripe with someone that owned the six of the media.
Yeah.
What am I going to do, tell the media on them? It's never going to work.
Right, they would definitely edit that part out. Be like, why is Dave's section only 4 minutes long?
Yeah, edit it, spin it, whatever it is they do. But,
Yeah.
But again, you know, all parties involved, I thought, in repairing that situation, and I don't want to go all into what those conversations were like, other than to say, and this is not like I'm just happy because they paid me. It was class act. It was like,
That's beautiful.
it really was. It wasn't. It was very encouraging.
That is very encouraging.
I think that coming up behind us, these kids are going to be playing on a whole new ball game that we did.
I hope so. I think there's more accountability now because of the internet, because of you know, people's ability to express themselves is so much different than it used to be. So you can't just be some ruthless, evil executives fucking over the artists like they did during the, you know, in the music business.
Because of the
It's
internet.
legendary. The music business is legendary for doing that.
Man, look. First of all,
Cause I ain't gonna lie, yo. Like these guys been doing it so long. Like the first Dave Chappelle stand up I had, it was on DVD. You know what I'm saying? Cause there was no, you couldn't get that shit no other way. And now, like you say, man, you got Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all this shit.
into this music business thing in a second, but I was looking on the internet. It was a bunch of waitresses talking about what celebrities did or didn't tip them. Nobody can fuck up anymore.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, they got a whole website dedicated to bad tippers.
Yeah. All of a sudden, breaking news: Ellen DeGeneres is a bitch. What?
Wait a minute. There's a website dedicated to bad tippers, and waitresses will tell how much a celebrity tipped them. Oh, their meal was X amount of dollars. And, you know, 15% gratuity of that would have been this much. And she only gave me this much. That's kind of crazy. Because, for one, the tip that I leave is really based on the service I get, yo. Simple as that. I get good service, you'll get a good tip. And I don't know, like, my main thing too, when it comes to waiters or waitresses, like, if you don't tell me your name, I'm already digging into your tip right there. Now you're not, you don't tell me your name, you're not getting 15% or whatever, yo. Fuck that. Went to Red Lobster one time, like, this was like a couple months ago. And the waiter we had was this Spanish guy. This motherfucker was super fucking nice, yo. He was like, so what do you guys no, he was like, hey, my name is Mario. How's it going? I'm like, pretty good. What are you guys coming out for? We're just having a little dinner date. He was like, are you an artist or something? Swear to God. I was like, yeah. He was like, I just looked at him, and he looked at me, he was like, you just kind of look like an artist. And I gave him my business card. And the motherfucker was a really good ass waiter that night, yo. Then we went back again a week or so later. We had a different waiter. Then we went back another time after that. We had a different waiter. And then we went to Red Lobster last week. And yo, I forgot about this dude, yo. And then the one girl set us, and then when he came to the table, he was like, hey, how's it going, man? I still got your card, man. You're the artist. I was like, I looked at him, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, damn, how this motherfucker remember that shit? Like, out of all the people that he's waited on, you know, in all these fucking, in the past couple of months, like, that motherfucker still remembered that shit, yo. I was like, damn. But, now that's a good fucking waiter. I tip motherfuckers like that. But if you just, like, you don't tell me your name, you don't ask if my food is okay, you don't come check on me a couple times for my drinks or whatever, you don't tell me if y'all having any kind of specials or happy hour or none of that shit, like, I leave you $2, nigga. But you come, hey, my name is such and such. I'll be waiting on you tonight. Can I start y'all with some appetizers or blah blah blah? You know how waiters supposed to be. Just do a good job. How your drinks? Everything good? Yeah. You need anything else? No. Oh, matter of fact, let me get some more napkins and some A1 sauce. Okay, be right back. You be quick with shit like that. I'll leave you fucking $10, $15. I don't give a fuck. But hell, motherfucker act funky. You gets nothing. You gets nothing, and I don't give a fuck if you put me on some website and tell people how much I tipped you. You should have been a better fucking waitress.
What? No. By the way, I like him a lot. I'm just saying this. This is what we're faced with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personalities get yelped.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you talk to enough people, you're going to have disagreements with people. And if someone accumulates, if they curate only those disagreements and only take it from the perspective of those people that you had problems with, they could paint you out to be a piece of shit. Even if you're a really nice person who just doesn't take any nonsense from people. If you talk to enough nonsense people, you're going to have enough conflicts. And if they only curate those conflicts and make, like, a compilation, like, Dave talked to this guy and told him to eat shit.
Well, that's why I usually don't do interviews. Because I feel like this is about fame in general. And then I see you go through similar shit. It's like they blow you up like a balloon and twisting all these wild shapes like a balloon animal.
Yeah.
This once you're in that thing, they can control the perception of it. That's why I fuck with it.
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
They gaslight people.
And you know, again, people play incentives. I'll give you an example. You know, years ago, not that long ago, you remember when all those writings of Gandhi came out? They're like, all this really racist shit. Have you ever read this?
I did, yeah.
And you know the context of that. At the time he wrote those things, he was an attorney in South Africa. And South Africa had a racist legal system. And in order to be successful, you had to be a good racist. And he was just succeeding. I'm sure he wasn't writing all this nigga shit in India. I shouldn't have said that, but, you know. I forgot.
We're on the internet. It's fun. Didn't
go.
Gandhi, there's people that were upset at him because he slept with a bunch of girls, too, right? Didn't, like...
They Me Too Gandhi?
Yeah. I think he tempted himself by sleeping. I think that was the way he described it. Like he would sleep with young girls.
To tempt himself.
Yeah. I think that was the...
The evil Knievel of pussy. and now I will tempt myself. What the fuck is this?
I think I'm remembering that correct.
That's what I tell my wife. Go to a titty bar to tempt myself.
Yeah.
He tortured himself.
Tortured himself.
He called it, is that what he said?
Torture.
Yeah, let's get this right, because I actually reviewed it.
Fucking ad bloggers. Sexual Torment of a Saint. A new book reveals Gandhi tortured himself with the young women who worshipped him and often shared his bed. Yeah. And so...
Daily Mail, so this has got to be true.
He was killed by an assassin in 1946, huh? Wow.
What was in the movie? I don't know about all this torturing himself.
I didn't know it was that. I thought it was later.
And then they just show a picture of him walking with some, you know, we don't know. I don't know.
But go back to what it said there. Gandhi, a London-trained lawyer-turned-guru, was a ruthless cult leader who enslaved his followers with such bizarre sexual demands that it became difficult for many people to take him seriously, even during his own lifetime. What?
That was Gandhi?
Oh, it claims. Gandhi Naked Ambition claims that Gandhi.
Someone wrote a book called Gandhi Naked Ambition.
Goes so far as to suggest that the draconian practices instituted by this iconic figure in the ashrams he founded prompted the perverted 20th century cults of Jim Jones and Jonestown.
Okay, all right. Then someone wrote this book. I look at Gandhi as a person that fought against white supremacy in his homeland. So there you go.
Yeah, so he liked to
People
torture
fuck
himself a
funny.
little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He liked to lay down and get hard on. That's the big deal.
I'm sorry I brought that up. I didn't know Naked Ambition just hit the stands. What was it, Gandhi? What's it called?
Yeah, but how would anyone know whether or not he tortured himself? Like, does his writing say that? Did he talk about it openly? Did he like to just get blue balled
Yes.
and lay there?
Yeah, see, it's that though, man. Like, it's all this, like, you know. I hate the debunking of great legacies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine how the whites might feel if they tear down a Civil War statue. This kind of thing to me is that. My equivalent of that. Like, oh, now we're debunking Gandhi.
You know, it was really funny when they started tearing down statues. Trump was like, what are they going to do next? They're going to tear down George Washington? And everybody's like, well, that's ridiculous. They're not going to do that. And then they started tearing down George Washington statues. They tear down all the statues.
I mean, George Washington did own slaves.
He did.
You know.
Yeah. So did Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. Many of the framers.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you shouldn't revere what they did, but what a statue is supposed to represent is here's an image of some person who's historically significant and established in the country. Doesn't mean
right. That's the analogy.
Yeah.
To me, Gandhi fought against white supremacy
Yeah.
and was very successful, and then they decades later start tearing the statue down.
Yeah. The worst thing he did was get hard-ons.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know.
Lay there and get tortured.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to put no value judgment on any of this shit. I'm just saying he did expel the British peacefully, which was unprecedented in the world. A peaceful expulsion of oppressors.
Yeah. It's interesting how peaceful protest resonates for years and years and years. And when someone does something significant, like remember that image, I'm sure you do, of that, there's a video of it, of a monk in Vietnam lighting himself on fire to protest against the war. It's on the cover of one of the Rage Against the Machine albums.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy. But everybody remembers that.
Yeah, there was another guy who did that underneath the window of the Pentagon here in the United States during the Vietnam War.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, white fella. I can't remember his name.
Whew. That's a way to go.
I mean, but Gandhi didn't call it a peaceful protest. He called it civil disobedience. The idea being that I will not participate in my own oppression. It's a fine idea.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Why would anybody concentrate on the hard-ons?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Gandhi got so much pussy. Let me tell you about this Gandhi you fuck with.
He didn't even do anything. He just laid there.
Yeah, that's that.
That's a weird move, though.
What, they're just laying
Just
there?
lay there and get hard and go like...
Beat it, bitch. Come on, get some sleep. That's crazy. I think that, I don't know, man. I don't know where this culture is headed. I don't know what the fuck everybody's doing anymore. It's COVID year. Like, I'm a little packed away. You know, I've been out.
Yeah.
It's doing something to us collectively. Like, we talked about this the last time I was here, and I told you I was going to come to the show. I wasn't bullshitting. Remember that day I said, I'll come after the inauguration.
Yeah.
Because we all smelled that coming.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It's a weird one. We're being tested. It's testing the foundations of our culture, the foundations of our civilization. It's testing how well we can be peaceful with each other and make sense and get along, and how much we value getting along with each other, and how much there's just so much divisiveness, because there's never been a time in history where the whole economy and the whole society basically just got frozen for a year and stuck in some weird sort of side patch where we had to figure things out fresh. And people lost, like, how many people lost their jobs? How many people lost their lives? How many people lost their grandparents?
Their loved ones, that's right.
Yeah. It's It was a weird fucking year, and everybody's very sensitive, and everybody's quick to pull the trigger. And then you got everybody there's so many people that have just been online all day long this whole year, and that's not good for you.
I still think at the core of all of this, this what you call weirdness is these profound trust issues. You know, it's like I sit on them, these people that hoarded toilet paper and hoarded and
Remember that? The toilet paper
bullets
one?
out and, you know, none of these things are good signs. I think that something about the nature of COVID punched us square in our American identity. We're individualists, you know, the mask and all these things that I don't think are actually oppressive, but I can see why Americans would feel they are.
Yeah,
They just don't trust the messenger anymore.
there's too many mixed signals. It's hard. In the beginning, when Fauci was saying you don't have to wear a mask, and then eventually they were saying you got to wear one.
That was a
you should wear
huge
two.
mistake. I agree. Yeah, if you give people information that it may not be true, even if you have the intention of having them behave in a way that's beneficial for everybody. Misinformation, the way you achieve these things, the separation from ends and means can be a profound problem if you're managing something like a nation of 300 plus million people. You need to be able to trust the institution. So now you'll hear Americans say shit like, they should fix this, they should fix that.
Yeah.
But in reality, the idea is, we are they.
Mhm.
Nobody feels that way right now.
Well, we did before. I think people had faith in the government in the sense that worst case scenario, even if they're incompetent, everything will stay together. Now you realize, no, it doesn't have to stay together. It can be irreversibly fucked. Like I think some of our cities are right now. I think there's some sections of LA, I don't know how the fuck they're gonna bounce back. You drive down the street and you see everything boarded up. You go,
And it froze? Damn. Is the stream gonna stop now?
how does this come back? How long does it take? Does it take a year? Does it take 10 years? Like what is this?
And I have no point of reference to even make an educated guess. I've never seen any of this before.
Nobody
I'll
has.
tell you, like, okay, so my experience during COVID, I live in Ohio. I don't live in a cough's distance from anyone I don't know. You know what I mean? It's open space. So we were isolated, but it wasn't oppressive. I could go outside, I could take a walk, I could whatever. I go to New York, I was telling you maybe a couple weeks ago when they opened all the comedy clubs back up, you know, just to show support for the clubs that nurtured, you know, my career early on, and it was a tough one. I'd been there before, like the Saturday Night Live week. That week was, you know, unseasonably warm. Biden had just won that weekend, so people were celebratory. This time around, I got a sense of the emotional carnage that happened in that city. And it was significant. It was powerful. You would notice. I did. And to hear them say it's like, things are getting better. I was like, better? Because I hadn't seen New York since it was like incredibly healthy. You know, in the non-COVID times, I've heard a $2 trillion economy just in the 5 boroughs of New York. I don't know what's going on there now. You know, restaurants open at limited capacity. People, it takes courage just to go to a coffee shop or this, that, or the other. Especially with this problem of trust being in deficit.
Yeah.
It's just a tough one.
Well, it's also a lot of people are moving out. When people are moving out, you get the sense like it's an abandoned ship, like it's a sinking ship. And then people don't want to invest money in it. They don't know what to do. They're not sure if they should stay. They start looking at other states where things are open. Maybe we should just move. Maybe we should forget about this business and start fresh in Florida or move to Texas or whatever.
Yeah, I can't imagine New York City not coming back from this.
It'll come back. It just won't come back the same. It's going to be different. It's going to take a long time.
You think anything will be the same after that? It'll take a minute, bro.
It'll take a minute.
It'll be a new normal, though.
Well, even Austin, like it's not the same. It's actually bigger. It's growing.
This city grew, I'm sure.
Grew.
I'm sure a lot of people from the Bay moved here for the tech job.
Yep.
The weather's good.
Yep.
The restrictions aren't as oppressive.
People are nicer too. That's the big one for me. My feelings here are different. I feel less anxiety here. I feel like people are nicer. They're genuinely friendly.
But do you think that people are nice, or do you think the circles you were rolling in California weren't as nice?
No, it's just regular people that you meet. Like, there's a guy in my neighborhood. I look forward to waving to this guy every day. He's an old dude who works on his lawn. And this motherfucker will wave at everybody who drives by. He's there digging and like, you see the car, like,
No, that's
and every day I see that guy, I get ready. I'm gonna wave to my friends. Where's your name? Make a little eye contact. It feels good. I never got that in California. Nobody would stop from digging in their lawn to look up and wave at you at every car that passes by. This guy waves at every car.
That's sweet.
It's sweet.
How old is this guy?
Probably 70s, 80s.
Okay.
Older fella.
Because a guy my age would be weird. Nobody want to see that shit.
Yeah, that's a little odd. He's a little too friendly.
Call the police.
Yeah, 20-year-old kids doing laundry out there waving at everybody.
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's age appropriate. But it's just, there's friendly people out here, man. There's less of them. People value people when they're not a burden. When you get to, 20 million people or whatever the fuck LA is, people, they lose their value. They become annoying. There's too many of them on the highway in front of you. There's too many of them around you,
Well, let me ask you this. What is the mechanics of your day like? Is your day mechanically the same as LA? Minus the comedy, obviously, it's COVID. But I would imagine you work out a few hours a day, no matter where you are. You do your show a few hours a day, if you're here or there. You kick it with your wife a few hours a day, and the kids. What else do you do here that you don't do there?
It's just quieter.
It just feels better.
It feels better. Like, I like the vibe of the city better.
How so?
It's like, no one's trying to be famous here. There's a thing in Hollywood, even if you're not a person who's in show business, maybe you had an ambition and you abandoned it. Or maybe you think, like, now because of reality shows and because of social media, maybe you don't even have to be famous for your talent. You just have to be famous. Like, look at the Kardashians and a lot of people that are famous just for being famous. Like, there's a weird currency in having a lot of people know who you are. There's a social status to that exists in LA that is primary.
That's
it's above
very true.
all. It's above all.
All right, well, let me say this. First of all, when I remember meeting you in the 90s, this thing never really seemed to affect you. You seemed serious about comedy. I had heard whispering that you did Kung Fu. But you weren't like you were social with other comedians, but you weren't like the hangout kind of guy. You were always off doing your own thing. And even this podcast, even though it grew to be a big thing when it started, I don't even think you would start it with the intention, I'm going to blow this motherfucker up. You just did it.
Yeah, there was never a thought of blowing it up. It was just silly. There's a video, it was a funny video that was in the Comedy Store documentary of Tom Segura leaving my house, talking about leaving my house and talking to Red Band, saying, what is he doing? Why does he do this? And he's like, I don't know. He wants to do it all the time. He wants to do this stupid fucking podcast that no one's listening to.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I mean, but at that time, and even still, the way I remember LA, it's winner's circle.
Yeah.
And earlier in my career, like, if you're doing well in LA, like, now, it's fun as fuck out there, all the ropes open up, and, oh, Mr. Chappelle, and they accommodate you expertly because they're so proficient with hospitality.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing good, they'll remind you just quick.
Yeah, it makes you feel bad.
It makes you feel bad.
I've seen people, the look on their face when you pass through the line and the security guard goes, oh, come on up here. And the other people that are waiting, they watch you walk through, and they feel terrible.
Oh, God, I hope not. I do it all the time. I'm a rope crossing motherfucker. No more waiting for me.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, for those people that are in that line, to be that person that gets called to the front of the line and the doors just open, they grab that velvet rope. Oh, Mr. Chappelle.
Right, flagrant elitism.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. They wish it was them.
Yeah.
And they want to be hanging with you. Maybe if I'm hanging with Dave, I'll get through that rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm with Dave. Oh, you're with Dave. Come on in.
I told you the first time I met Denzel Washington, a guy did that to me. Came with my table like, Dave, I hate to bother you, but Denzel Washington's here. Would you like to meet him? I'm like, oh my God, yeah. And he brings me over to the table.
Wow.
Denzel Washington is Dave Chappelle. I'm like, oh my God, Denzel very gracious. And then the guy goes, and my name is, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker didn't know me. He used me. It's wild out there.
That's hilarious.
It's wild out there, man.
Yeah, it is wild. There's social climbers in LA that it's an art form they're skilled. They know how to do it.
I think I moved to Ohio initially to be free
Yeah.
of these feelings you described.
Yeah.
This idea that, I started so young that I didn't know how to untether the rest of my life from those interests. And geography was the quickest life hack.
I love the way you talk about Ohio. I really do. I've always loved it. I love you do a lot of things that I think are awesome.
Man, thanks, bro.
Just, you've always been a kind person, despite all of your success, all the accolades, all the love that you get. You've never let it turn you into someone who felt like you were better than other people. Like I've seen you, the way you interact with the door people at the store. That to me is everything.
Right.
How do you treat the door staff? How do you treat the bartender? Are you friendly with all those folks? And if you're not, man, you're kind of missing the whole point. Like you can make someone's day just by being cool.
That's what always makes me laugh about Punky.
Yes.
The last time I saw her, she was a barback.
Now she's on
And
SNL.
the next time I saw her, she was rehearsing at SNL. That made me feel real good for her.
She's amazing.
And I thought of all the comedians that might treat the barbacks like shit. Like, you better be careful.
Yeah, right?
Security, Idris Elba, the famous actor, used to be a security guard.
Really?
Caroline's. Yeah. You can ask me. I used to buy weed from him.
You used to buy weed from Idris Elba?
Yeah. I don't know if I should talk about it. But
Yeah, you can talk about it.
I did.
It's
Yeah,
legal
I did.
now in New York.
Yeah.
He had a kickboxing fight. He's a legitimate Muay Thai fighter.
I heard he's nice with it.
Oh yeah, he's good, and he fought a good guy. Like it wasn't a bullshit fight; it was a fight. It wasn't like he went out there and just knocked this guy out with one punch.
They
Like,
were
had a fight.
scrapping.
Oh yeah, it's a good fight, and he trained for a long time. Like this, pull up some video footage of Idris Elba hitting a heavy bag.
This I gotta see.
Idris Elba's got skills. He trains hard, and I think he did it for a television show. So I think they documented his training, and he trained for quite a long time. And Muay Thai is that's a fucking brutal way to fight, kicking legs and.
Is that the
Knee
shit that
in the
they
body.
do in
Look at
Thailand?
him. Yeah, that's the shit they do in Thailand.
I went to the Muay Thai fights in Thailand. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, he's getting after it. So he would train at this like legit Muay Thai gym, and you watch him. I mean, if I saw him about to fight in the UFC, I'd go, fucking not a good move. Look at he got dropped there. Like he's training. He's doing real. I mean, he's getting his legs kicked, the whole deal. And you could tell that this is, they're not cutting any corners. He's doing the hard work, the real hard work.
Man, I came across.
So here's his fight. So
Oh,
he had like a fucking
It's a
real
real shit.
fight. Oh, it's a real fight, man. A real Muay Thai fight. I mean, they were getting after it. Does it show in the fight? Also, there's a whole documentary on it.
If you think about most actors, too, I don't know if they
There he
got
is.
this kind of grit
No,
or humility to possibly get their ass whooped in
Oh,
front
yeah.
of everybody.
that's the thing. I mean, every human being get knocked the fuck out, right? We saw that with Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal, when he got knocked out by Usman, Masvidal he had an iron chin his whole fucking career. He'd only been like dropped a couple of times, and he was fine every time. Like dropped by big guys like Darren Till dropped him, but I mean, he's one of the best strikers in the sport. And then when Usman flatlined him, everybody's like, oh shit. Everybody can get knocked out. The human brain, the human body, the way your face is constructed, it's just not designed to get punched. So look at this right here. That could have easily
That would
KO'd
have
him.
dropped me.
Yeah, a good shot. I mean, he's got good defense though. He fought well. He did everything well.
I
And it
could
was
be
a good
any
fight.
fighter alive at the press conference. but that shit, forget it.
Yeah, it is a real fight. They're showing in slow motion. It was, it's hard. Fighting's hard. It's hard not to look sloppy. It's hard to look perfect. To get to a point where you're looking like, Andre Berto or Floyd Mayweather, it takes a long fucking time to develop that kind of timing and poise and movement.
A lifetime.
Yeah, forever. So what he did though is it shows character. They took that chance. That's a rare person.
When my kid was young, my youngest son, he got really into boxing. I used to take him down to Wild Card in Hollywood. We're in L.A. And he trained with Justin Juco and shit like that.
Yeah.
Juco was a great trainer because he'd make everything fun for my son. And my son got really into it. And one day, he was young. He's like, I want to spar somebody. And so they put him in the ring with this top amateur contender. Little guy, but, he was nice with it. And my son, in his little child talk, was like, I'm going to fuck this guy up. I'm like, no, you're not. They got in there. And, you know, he did all right. But the gym got real amped. And I remember one of the fighters came over to me and was like, this thing your son has, you can't train that. You're either this way or you're not. Like, he this
liked it.
tenacity.
Yeah.
So I always thought about that. You can't train that. You're either this way or you're not.
Well, some people, they can get better at it. You can get better at tenacity. You can get better at mental strength. It's not totally innate. Like, some people are just born with it, though. Some people are ferocious from the jump.
Where did you fall in that spectrum?
I don't remember because it was so long ago. But I always had unusual power because I have a weird frame, like a very large hands for my body, and I have wide shoulders, and I can generate a lot of force. And so the problem with that is I would load up, and it took me a long time.
What do you mean load up? I'm sorry.
I would try to knock people out all the time.
Like,
this is
I can't
most
imagine.
Taekwondo tournaments. Like a lot of most of the fights are won by points. They're won by decision. I won most of my fights by knockout. A lot of them by knockout. I mean, maybe not most of them, but I was always trying to knock someone unconscious.
What does it feel like to knock somebody out? Is it satisfying? Did it scare you at all?
It's shocking. And it doesn't feel good. It never feels like great. I would pretend it felt great. I'd be like, yeah, but meanwhile I was like, what the fuck?
Right.
Part of me would be like, what the fuck? It always felt weird.
I said, hey,
There was
babe.
one time that I never recovered from.
Why you think I just
when I was
said like
19
that?
years old. I fought in Anaheim, California. Flew out here to fight in the Nationals. Won my first fight. Then I won my second fight. I was fighting this kid, and I was there with just me and my friend Junksick. He was coaching me. He was cornering me. And this guy, they had their whole team with them. There's all these people in the stands, and I remember saying, "Come on, Johnny, get him, Johnny, get him, Johnny." And I knew this dude was just a little slow, and he was doing some things, and I was seeing some openings, and I hit him harder than I've ever hit anybody in my life. I hit him with a wheel kick, I hit him so hard I was limping for a couple of days afterwards because my heel hurt from hitting his head. And I flatlined him. He face planted. He started snoring. And he never got up. They carried him off a stretcher. He was unconscious for half an hour. And they eventually carried him off, put him in a stretcher, brought him to the hospital. But he literally never stood up and walked around. And
that's scary.
it scared the shit out of me. And then I
you
went
like
back.
the dude?
I didn't know the dude. He was from Chicago. I was from Boston. And we just met in California.
That's what's weird about boxers. Like, beating somebody up that you're not angry at
Right.
is a wild thing to think about.
It is wild. Yeah. They do it all the time. You know, a lot of MMA fighters, they're good friends up until, a lot of them train together. And then they go and they fight. But I went back to my instructor. And my instructor was a hard man. He was a Korean dude who had been taught by General Chae Young-yi, who's the original founder of Taekwondo, who used to train troops in Vietnam. I mean, this guy was hard. And when I went back and told Mr. Kim, I said, we were talking about the tournament. He goes, I heard you had a really good knockout. And I said, it was very scary. I go, made me nervous. I go, because he never got up. I mean, I thought he was dead. And he goes, sometimes they die.
Wow.
And then he walked away.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh shit, they is me.
You know, how old were you then?
19.
Jeez.
And that was the decline of my Taekwondo career from that moment on. My
Really?
fighting career, I fought for a couple more years, but I lost a lot of my enthusiasm with that one fight.
Did the fighting and the stand-up overlap?
They overlapped for 3 kickboxing fights. I had 3 kickboxing fights while I was doing comedy, and I wasn't committing 100% to either one of them.
Oh, that's
I was half in with both, and then I realized I couldn't do it anymore. And I actually got told by a dude who was an open micer. He actually said something that was so true I couldn't even argue with him. He goes, you started out pretty funny. He goes, but you lost steam somewhere along the line. And I remember looking at him and going, fuck, he's right.
Wait. In what context did he say this?
Talking about comedy, like who's getting good, who's getting bad. We were all like a year in, we were all struggling. And we were sitting around talking about, oh, this guy's really funny and that guy's really, he's like, yeah, you started out pretty good, but it seemed like you lost steam.
Really?
He wasn't even being mean to me. He was just being honest.
What was he seeing?
I just wasn't as into it because I was still fighting. I was still doing both things. And I was still teaching. I I was still teaching at Boston University.
It's almost like Dave
So you started stand-up in
interviewing
Boston.
him too, because
Yeah.
he had some
It's a good
motherfucking
circuit.
Joe
It's a
more
great
questions
circuit.
than Joe
It's
Adams.
phenomenal.
Right.
It was a good place because it was they have no tolerance for bullshit. Like there's no dilly dallying up there. They want punchline, set up punchline, bang bang bang. They want entertainment.
That's
Let's go.
Don Gavin
Don't
shit.
be late. Yeah. Don Gavin, Lenny
Sweeney.
Clark, Steve Sweeney.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was a kid, I used to catch train up to Boston and work out with these cats.
Yeah.
And it was the first circuit I'd ever seen guys making like six figures and never leaving their city.
They trapped him.
They would go to bars and shit, and if you think they played for the Celtics or something, like the
Yeah.
town embraced the local communities. Like they were stars
Oh yeah.
in Boston.
Oh yeah. Like nothing else. There's no other comparison to any other city that's like that.
What was the guy who used to drink all the time? Teddy Bergeron.
Oh yeah.
You know him?
Oh yeah.
Well, when he was in it, he was a beast.
Teddy Bergeron had one Tonight Show set that was so fucking brilliant. It was so brilliant, and then apparently he got fucked up on pills and booze, and they made him stick around. But he came back, and he was so fucked up on drugs that it like tanked his career. Like so, he had this one set that was magic, and he watched that set. You're like, my God, that guy might be the best comic alive.
Right.
He was so smooth.
I remember opening for him.
He was so smooth. He was so good. He was so good. He was such a smart guy too, such a good writer. But you know, success in the demons. I mean, that's why one of the things that's very impressive to me about people like you that manage the success, it doesn't change your personality. You whatever anxiety comes out of all the pressure and all the people paying attention to what you're doing, you roll with it and you handle it. But some people don't. You know, it's that scrutiny, being the object of attention, is crippling for some people.
I think early in my career, I didn't know how to handle that.
You know,
You know what I mean? I was a kid. I was immature. It was a weird thing.
but you still handled it well, even though you didn't know how to handle it. You figured it out. Like you did it. It was a struggle, but you never became an asshole.
No.
You never fell apart.
I think life is too just humiliating of a practice. You know what I mean? No matter how you feel about yourself, you get up in the morning, take that first shit of the day. You're a person.
Yeah, regular person.
Fingers is like gross.
No, it's true.
Take that first shit of the day, you're a person.
Yeah, I mean, the more things that I do that are humiliating or humbling is probably a better word. The more things I do that are humbling, the better it is for me.
Well, the thing I like about your comedy origin story, like I was fighting, I was teaching, he said, and I was doing stand-up. I didn't commit to all of them. But now, that sounds like the recipe for everything you do.
Well, the things I do now, they enhance the other things.
It's
Like if I'm doing a podcast, I think it enhances my stand-up. It enhances my
Y'all probably didn't
perspective.
have
The
to
more
work
people I
with
can
that.
talk to, more ideas I can
But
take
today
in,
is
more
great.
conversations I can have people. I get a better understanding of people. Like I'm building a mountain out of layers of
That's
paint.
good news.
Like every day I'm getting a little bit more
A lot
understanding
of
of people.
yard
A little
work
bit more
today,
understanding of
weed
myself.
whack.
You get up broad base.
I drove the whole-
I see
all
talking
the
to people like Malcolm Gladwell.
campus.
I read his books. It would intimidate
Weed
me.
whacker.
Just chop it up.
Just had to push
He's a good dude.
forward.
He's easy to
And
He
talk
then
seemed
to.
like
Yeah.
we
We had to, like,
but
we got
but
the
he's a very
playground
good-
area
you are
with
very
hedges
good.
all around
It's
it,
just
man. Over the
weird.
winter, like all the
It's
leaves
weird, I
that
know.
was under there, that was the hardest thing to
You know what I mean?
do that shit.
It's just so
I had to
strange.
break
Like, look,
all
I think back
the
when also, you know, nobody knew if we were gonna make it, not make it.
That's
This,
after
that,
that,
and the
like I
other.
went in there, I was
And
fucking bad. Like,
what
yeah,
our
we gotta
careers
take
evolved
it.
into, and I use the word evolve
Well,
very
you got it done too,
specifically
because it
in
just
your
started
case,
raining like
because
around lunchtime.
none of it was obvious.
No.
Like,
The
so we went out
MMA
there and
thing
knocked that
is
shit
not
out
obvious.
first
This
thing.
podcast is not obvious, and these things were what made you, you know.
Then I thought we were going to spray the gazebo, but he said he's getting
sitcoms.
a
That's
sprayer.
like
He
the
ordered a
obvious. Y'all do
sprayer
that
for
shit.
that
Yeah.
shit.
But
It
you
ain't
found
come
your
yet,
way,
so he
and it's
said
really
we're
hard
gonna do
to
that
do.
shit next week when Renee not there, so she don't be over soon.
It's been lucky that I've always listened to my own instincts in terms of like what do I enjoy doing, whether or not it's a good career move or not. I enjoy doing it. Like the early days, MMA wasn't a good career move at all.
I was gonna cut the
Like,
grass
the
as soon as I
people that
came
was
home, but I
working
was
with
like,
on news
fuck that
radio,
shit.
they would talk to me about it like I was doing
I
porn.
can't get
They were like,
grass.
why are you doing this? You're going to Alabama to do some cage fighting commentary? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Back then, I wasn't even doing commentary. I was interviewing fighters. I was just interviewing them. I was the guy who would interview the fighters after the fight was over.
Would you call fights?
No, I didn't call fights until 2001.
Oh,
That was
wow.
the first time I called a fight. 1997. I was just an interviewer. I did it for a couple of years, and I enjoyed it. But it was just fun to be there. It was cool. I would just fly into these weird places, like
Right.
with Dothan, Alabama. Like weird little spots you would obviously never go to otherwise.
And that MMA thing was just kind of starting out. I remember I didn't see. I started seeing like the horse racing fights and shit like that in the early 90s.
Yeah.
They started doing the Shamrock was another.
Yep, 93 is when it started.
Yeah.
After
I
that,
came
the rest of the
around
night,
97.
all we do is
So I
sanitize.
did it 97 and
Sanitize,
98.
sanitize.
And then I couldn't do it anymore. It was costing me money. I could make more money doing a club for a weekend, a comedy club, than I could doing these gigs. And then, I just decided I was just going to stay a fan, just watch it from afar. I did it. I did the little interview thing. It was fun. And then the UFC was purchased by the Fertittas, and Dana White and I became friends because I was on Fear Factor, and he gave me free tickets to come to the fights. That's when no celebrities really knew what it was, and so if you could get a celebrity to sit up in the front row, and then he would interview me, and I knew so much about fighting, I started asking him questions about guys that are fighting in Japan, and then Dana and I went out to dinner, and he was like, why don't you do commentary? And I said, man, I don't want to do commentary. I want to get drunk and watch fights. Like, come on, man.
And props to Dana White though. That's a good move.
Yeah, he saw me on the Keenan Ivory Wayans show too, making fun of Steven Seagal. And we were talking about martial arts, and David thought it was hilarious. And then we started talking about commentary, and then he taught me to doing one. I did like the first 15 of them. I did for free. I did it for a while, like more than a year, like maybe 2 years. I did it for no money. I just got free tickets. He just flew me out.
It's that, bro. These paths in life, they reveal themselves. And this goes back to what we were saying earlier. If you look at things through the lens of money or monetary gain, you'll miss so much.
You miss so much.
This thing about just following a passion, having a good dinner with somebody, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's usually how the greatest things happen. When I did Stars Born, I don't do movies. I'm so glad I did it. And it was just because I liked Bradley Cooper. I kept meeting him at parties.
That's awesome.
And I just like the guy.
No, yeah, that's being able to just do what you enjoy doing. That's the real success of life. Because if you're making a lot of money but you hate what you're doing, like when I was doing Fear Factor, I didn't enjoy the job. I enjoyed the people I was working with. It was fun. They were a good group of people. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. I was doing it for money.
Right.
And but it gave me, the good thing was it gave me fuck you money. So it gave me money where I had money squirreled away. I was like, ooh, I can relax now. Now I just do what I want to do. And what I wanted to do was like do this stupid podcast, and then do these MMA shows, go and do commentary, and I did all that shit. Again, it was all just because I enjoyed it, and then that became my life. My life became only things I enjoy. So now, whether it's podcast or whether it's stand up or whether it's commentary, it's just I enjoy it. I look forward to it.
I had a year like that, right? Maybe like a year before I did Chappelle's show. It was just like I was saving up to take a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when it came time to do Chappelle's show, the money was terrible, but I'd saved up. I could take the shot.
Yeah.
I could come off the road and take a real shot, and it made all the difference in the world.
When you take a chance, it's such a weird feeling. Taking a chance, like doing something, even just moving here, it's so exciting. So exciting when you don't know how it's gonna play out. It's so nerve-wracking. Like it gets you. You're like, fuck, is this the right move? Maybe I should just play it safe and stay where I am. I mean, LA's got to open back up eventually.
No, this was a great move. And I can't imagine what you saved in taxes.
I don't know. It's a lot, though.
It's got to be.
13% is what California state taxes are?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm not even good at math, and I know that's $13.
It's going to get worse, too, man. It's going to get worse.
What?
Because they're jacking the taxes up. They're trying.
Oh, yeah.
They're jacking them up in New York.
You know what? Yeah, they're fine. Whatever.
Listen, if I felt like it fixed things, I would be happy.
It's that. I was with Jon Stewart. We were in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
I guess.
And, social.
You know how to trace a line?
And Jon Stewart said to me something like, he said, you know the difference between a taxpayer and a
I thought you said you wouldn't learn how to paint.
He said,
I
these people
was being
think
sarcastic.
they did something for
Well,
money.
This is how you learn.
But I think socialism or something like that only works in homogenized countries. Like everyone in China is Chinese. There's a lot of white people.